All right, let's talk about it, man. So, this is my immediate reaction to the Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz fight. It's officially over. If you're not living under a rock, you would already know that Devin Haney has won by unanimous decision. It was a good fight, all in all. God damn, I think I might got the Marion, man. The that new I'm gonna say Bovid. I don't want them, flag my channel or shadow banning me. So I'm gonna just say that new Amarion strain because I just got this Renma's neck pain. But that's not the here nor there. But let's talk about it, man. I'm gonna get into my scorecard right now. I'm gonna go down each round that I have for each guy. Um, and if I can remember specific reasons why I had them that round, I'll let you guys know. All right, so my scorecard I had Devin Haney 117, 111. Basically, that's 8 rounds. Well, I said 8 rounds. That's 9 rounds to 3. I gave Devin Haney the first 3 rounds. I gave him to him. He pretty much did what he wanted to the first three. JoJo Diaz, he really didn't take too many chances. He threw a few nice body shots, but he didn't really let his hands go to me in the first 3 rounds. Devin Haney looked sharp as always, as he always does to start a fight. Like that's one thing you can never say about Haney. He starts out the fight pretty fast, at least sharp. Like the jab is always popping out. I did have some complaints with him later on in the fight, but we're gonna get into that. Round four, I gave it to JoJo. I felt like I think Devin Haney kind of he let JoJo get a little bit too confident going into round four. He's backing him into the corner. He's letting his hands go a little bit. JoJo Diaz was. He kept landing a couple good shots. Then I gave 5-6 to Haney. I gave 7 to JoJo Diaz. I gave 8 and 9 to Devin Haney. I gave 10 to JoJo Diaz. I gave 11 to Devin Haney, and I also gave him the 12th as well. Now that 12th round can go either way, honestly. It just depends how you look at it. It was a close round. As soon as the round started, JoJo Diaz jumped out on Haney. He made it like he pretty much emptied his load. You could tell like he emptied his load probably like the first 30-45 seconds. And even when he was getting off, I felt like Devin Haney was still landing enough scoring shots. He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was in control of the round, but he was landing enough scoring shots. And he still kept himself in it, right? Now JoJo Diaz did land a shot. He did land a shot that I felt kind of definitely got Haney's attention. Definitely buzzed him a little bit, but he still had his faculties. He still had everything together. And I felt like after that shot, he was like, you know what? All right, let me bite down a little bit. Let me end this round out strong. And that's when he picked up the pressure. He brung it to JoJo for I'll probably say the rest of the round until maybe like the last. I'll say maybe last 20-30 seconds. It could have went either way, right? It was a toss up round. That's all I had to say about that. But this is one thing I want to talk about, right? If you guys listen to the live commentary from the fight, I felt like a lot of them, a few of the rounds, they were giving JoJo Diaz way too much credit for punches that he might have buzzed Haney with, but then when Haney would land a flush uppercut that jerks JoJo Diaz head back or make him, he ain't get stanky legs or nothing like that. But when Haney would land a nice shot that you could tell shook JoJo Diaz, it's like there was no mention of it, and I seen that happen at least two times. Uh, and that it might have been 2 times in one round because I think it was around. I would have wrote um I would have wrote what why was the reason I had them for each round and which were my swing rounds, right? Well, they don't really got that on that, but I could have still wrote that down, right? But yeah, there was a few rounds. I think it might have been somewhere around 6 to 8. It had to be somewhere around no, cause five. I felt like Haney came back and got it all together. I think it might have been a sixth round where they were giving JoJo Diaz way too much credit for punches that he landed, but they weren't really respecting Devin Haney's power. Now this is what I want to say, right? There was a few times where I felt JoJo Diaz he um he definitely buzzed Devin Haney, but there was also a few times where Devin Haney buzzed JoJo Diaz, and I don't and then this is what I want to say, right? Devin Haney, like I rate him high, right? but I just don't feel like I don't know if I would feel comfortable. I don't know if I would feel comfortable betting on him against a natural 135 guy, somebody who's a natural 135 guy that's skilled, or just a guy of Lomachenko's ranking, or Javante Davis or so. Right now, maybe Tiafimo look like he's struggling to make 135. Um, but I do want to say this: in the last two fights, we've seen Devin Haney. Last fight, we seen him damn near out on his feet against Jorge Linares, and he pretty much held and pot shot it for the last 3 rounds of the fight, 2 rounds of the fight. If Jorge Linares had the I'll say the engine or the stamina to really put the pressure on Devin Haney, he might have stopped him. Um, and then in this fight, I seen Haney wobbled a few times, not to the point where he could like, he really was like he was ready to go. But if he was in there with somebody who was a natural 135 that was a dog, let's say Tiafimo stunned Devin Haney in that fight, he gets him out of there. And I know you guys just saw him lose to Kambosos, so you're not gonna really, you're gonna take it with a grain of salt and not put too much stock into it. But I feel like Tiafimo would have definitely got him. And I don't want to say Devin Haney is chinny, but right now, I don't know, bro. He's losing to he's getting hurt by guys that are smaller than him. Now, he's supposed to be the bigger guy. Now, not everybody Lord Linares has shown he has power in the past, but JoJo Diaz is not a power puncher, and I've seen JoJo stun him. I'm not gonna say really hurt him, but he stunned him at least 3 to 4 times in this fight. Um, there was one, I think there was one to the body for sure. I think there was another one where he threw a left hook that might have caught him on the top of his head. And then there was two other times, I don't remember the other punches, but for sure he hurt Devin Haney, right? Um, and you can say the same for Haney's doing a little bit of damage to JoJo Diaz, right? But JoJo Diaz is a smaller guy. And my prediction, if you guys go watch one, I think it might be my last video. I said I don't think there's nothing that JoJo Diaz could do with Devin Haney, right? Now I did also say I don't think JoJo Diaz wins more than 2 rounds, and he won three in my opinion. And actually, if you look at the judges' scorecards, two of them agree with me, and one of them actually had it 116, 112, which would basically say it was an 8-4. And like I said, that there might have been two swing rounds, right? The 12th round, and I think it was the 6th round that I had it as a possible swing round. So, I still give a little respect to JoJo Diaz, man. I said masterclass. Um he did better than what I thought he would, but he still lost convincingly. It was a clear loss. Um, but like I said, he's a smaller guy with a short reach, short guy as well. Like is I don't he's not a power puncher, and like I said, man, I don't think it was nothing he could have did with Haney, but he showed in that fight. If you put Devin Haney in there with the right guy, uh, he could be had, man, at 135 for sure. I don't know if he goes up to 140, maybe the power develops a little bit more. Maybe his punch resistance is a little better because he did say after the fight he's struggling to make 135 a little bit. So he's only gonna fight. He really only want to fight meaningful fights at 135. Nothing, no scrubs, pretty much, right? Um, and let's see, man. He had Kambosos ringside. Kambosos and him had a conversation. Pretty much said, we're gonna see what's gonna happen, man. 80,000 in Australia, and Devin Haney said, I'll fight you on Jupiter. Set it up, smack, smack. I don't know if you guys watch battle rap, you get that reference, right? But that would be a good fight to make. Honestly, I see that. We're gonna talk. I don't know if I should save that for another video or keep it here, but I might save that for another video. We're already almost 10 minutes in. I'm trying to get in the algorithm. You gotta make those 10-minute videos or so. That's what I heard. But yeah. All in all, it was a good fight. We got Javante Davis versus Isaac Cruz tomorrow. Um, that should be another. I'm not gonna say a good fight. I don't think anybody's giving Javante as much. What should I say? I don't think anybody's giving Isak Cruz a chance to beat Javante as much as people were giving JoJo Diaz to beat Devin Haney. And there's one thing I want to talk about right now. Devin Haney, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he needs to build his stock more, if he needs to do more things outside the ring to get more popular or what. But man, it felt like if you watch the fight, they booed Devin Haney during the fight, and they booed him during his interview after the fight in the ring and ringside. So basically 3 times he got booed. And honestly, I'm thinking like, bruh, I saw somebody say on Twitter, I cannot verify this. I was not at the fight. They didn't really show the crowd too often, so you couldn't see much. But they said for the venue, I think they was at the MGM, that they had the upper sections closed and it still didn't sell out. Now I understand Javante's fighting tomorrow in LA. Um but still, man, for a guy that's making, 2-3 million in his last few fights, it's looking like Eddie Hearn's losing a little bit of money here. But I understand it though. I don't really kill DAZN or Eddie Hearn for making that decision, because this is a guy you want. You're playing a long game, right? You're basically saying, I think you're going to be a star down the line. So I rather overpay now and reap the rewards later. And Devin Haney, he does have potential to be a pound for pound guy. He has a skill set. Now it's just a few things he got to sharpen up. Oh, also before I end the video, I do want to get into um there was something I want to say. Damn, oh my god, I forgot what I want to get at. I can't remember if it was about oh, it's about Devin Haney slowing down, right? Now, like I said, man, Devin Haney's been slowing down a lot in these fights. There's a few things that if I notice, I'm starting to notice because I'm paying more attention. Before I would just watch Haney fights, like, all right, this is gonna be a super easy win. He's a minus 1200, 15 minus 1500. Like, I don't really care. I don't really care to even score these fights round by round or anything like that, right? But I noticed in these last few fights, he's been getting a little tired, and you notice that the work rate is. I'm not gonna say the work rate is completely down, because he did do a good job of putting combinations together. JoJo Diaz as well, but I noticed his jab has been starting to disappear in the second half of fights now. And if you notice, JoJo Diaz was able to get on the inside a lot more. He was able to back Haney into the corner a lot more. The only problem is Devin Haney is still a great boxer. He still was able to pivot out of certain situations. JoJo Diaz wasn't letting his hands go when he did have Haney in the corner. So all Haney had to do was throw a little combination out there and pivot, throw the left hook, pivot out to his left, and reset in the middle of the ring. And he kept doing that often. Plenty of times he did that, or throw the right hand, throw the 1-2, or the right looping hand, the looping right hand, and pivot out to his right. So that's one thing. Devin Haney needs to clean up for when he fights the elite guys at 135. I think, even because, like I said, we've seen JoJo Diaz get to Haney on the inside, and he's not a power puncher. He's a guy that started his career at 122 and he's fighting at 135 now. He's a smaller guy, like I said, short arms. It was a 7-inch arm reach advantage for Devin Haney. So, um, it lets you know he was also Devin Haney is also like 4 or 5 inches. I think he's 4 inches taller than JoJo Diaz. I think JoJo Diaz is 5'6", and I think Haney said he grew an inch to maybe like 5'9" or 5. Let me see. Let me see what it has Devin Haney on BoxRec. How tall they have him? 5'8", 5'9". He's listed as 5'8", and I heard him say he grew to 5'9". JoJo Diaz is 5'6", so about a 3-inch advantage on him, and then a 7-inch arm reach advantage. So when you're in there with a more technical fighter like a Lomachenko or a Javante Davis, or a guy that has a lot more power like a Richard Coleman, who also has the length. If you was to fight those type of guys, I can really see them stopping Devin Haney. Those are fights I would not bet Devin Haney to win. Um, But with all that being said, I really want to bring this video to an end. I've been on this for a little bit too much, and yeah, we're gonna end it like that, man. I kind of talked about potential opponents, right? But we're gonna save that for another video, and we're gonna probably break those down as well. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, like I said, this was my immediate reaction to the fight, man. Hopefully for him, he gets the Kambosos fight, he wins, and he could leave the division undisputed and move up to 140. Where his other great fights at? But with all that being said, man, I'm out of here. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. Peace.